Welcome back to my channel, Star Booze.
My father is a pretty straightforward man who didn't leave me too much, but he did tell me this. "Son," he continued, "he said so many things, you know, from the lyrics that shaped a generation to a voice as iconic as the songs themselves. Known as the founder of contemporary folk music, Bob Dylan is a living legend in every way." At 83, Dylan continues to captivate audiences with his inventive storytelling, which has earned him not just Grammys, but also a Nobel Prize in literature. He was recently observed doing his trademark modest mystique in small towns. Prepare to discover. Before we delve into his interesting lifestyle, we must first understand the eccentric world of an artist who reinvented what it means to be timeless. Return to the location where this amazing mind was formed in his early years. Robert Allen Zimmerman was born in Duluth, Minnesota, on May 24, 1941. Bob Dylan's transformation from a young man from a tiny village to a legendary musician is quite remarkable. Growing up in the mining town of Hibbing, Dylan was enthralled with music from an early age. He taught himself to play the piano and guitar, taking inspiration from musicians like Hank Williams and Elvis Presley. In high school, he formed bands like the Golden Chord WS, which performed covers of rock and roll hits. In 1959, Dylan enrolled at the University of Minnesota, where he became involved in the local folk scene and performed at coffee shops. It was during this time that he took the name Bob Dylan, a nod to poet Dylan. Early influences had a significant impact on Thomas Dylan's musical development. Woody Guthrie's writings struck a deep chord with him, motivating him to relocate to New York City in 1961 to meet his idol. This move signaled the start of his rise in the folk music scene, which led to relationships with influential people, like Joan Baez and Pete Seeger. However, when young Bob Dylan entered the folk scene, his story was only just starting to take shape in ways that would alter music for the rest of his career and success. Beginning in the early 1960s, Bob Dylan's career is a tapestry of revolutionary turning points that have permanently altered the music and cultural landscape. "Blowing in the Wind," a song that became an anthem for the civil rights movement, was first heard on Dylan's second album, The Freewheel. This was only the start of a fruitful journey that saw him continuously, changing his tone and defying musical conventions. Dylan made a daring move in 1965 by bringing everything home and fusing rock and folk in a way that was groundbreaking at the time. This fusion not only expanded Dylan's creative horizons, but also inspired innumerable musicians to pursue new artistic endeavors. His contentious electric performance at the Newport Folk Festival that same year, which has since become legendary, further demonstrated his willingness to violate expectations. In addition to winning numerous Grammy Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Award, and an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for Things Have Changed from the movie Wonder Boy, Dylan's literary accomplishments were acknowledged in 2016, when he was granted the Nobel Prize in Literature, recognizing his significant influence on poetry and songwriting. His accolades are as varied as his discography. Dylan's legacy is woven throughout contemporary music. His reflective lyrics and avant-garde compositions have influenced musicians of all stripes for generations. Despite revolutionizing the music business, albums like Highway 61 Revisited and Blood on the Tracks are acclaimed as masterpieces that demonstrate his unparalleled ability to capture the human experience in song. Dylan's career is about more than just awards. It's also about how his work led him an incredible fortune and net worth. As of 2025, his estimated net worth is $500 million. This significant fortune comes from a number of sources. He reportedly made $400 million from the sale of his songwriting portfolio to Universal Music Publishing Group in 2020, and he sold his master recordings to Sony Music Entertainment for an estimated $150–200 million in 2022. Beyond these historic agreements, Dylan's tireless touring, most notably his never-ending tour, has generated a steady flow of income. Since 1988, he has performed at over 3,000 events, earning at least $100,000 per show. In total, he has earned almost $300 million from live performances. Dylan's business endeavors also help him make more money. In 2018, he co-founded Heaven's Door Whiskey, combining his entrepreneurial spirit with artistic sensibilities. The brand makes about $3.5 million a year, but it goes above and beyond the figures. Dylan's life is an intriguing blend of artistic reflection and a reserved demeanor that captivates followers with its intriguing lifestyle insights. Although Bob Dylan has always been a mysterious character, his life presents a mosaic of fascinating aspects that depict a man who is devoted to his craft and always changing in his pursuits outside of the stage and studio. In the field of philanthropy, Dylan has contributed to a number of causes that frequently align with his steadfast beliefs in social justice and human rights, while keeping a low profile regarding his charitable endeavors. Dylan is an accomplished painter whose paintings frequently reflect the same introspective and observational qualities found in his music. His paintings offer a window into his perception of the world, capturing scenes of Americana and portraits that echo his lyrical themes. His efforts to promote causes like Amnesty International and take part in events like Live Aid demonstrate his dedication to using his influence to change the world throughout his career. Dylan has always been involved in controversy. In 1965, purist fans criticized Dylan for going electric at the Newport Folk Festival, believing it to be a betrayal of folk traditions. However, this audacious move marked a turning point in music history, demonstrating Dylan's willingness to push artistic boundaries and defy expectations in terms of personal preferences. Dylan's discography reflects the diversity of his tastes. His appreciation of literature is clear, with influences ranging from classic poets to contemporary authors, reflecting the depth and breadth of his intellectual curiosity. He has also expressed admiration for a wide range of musical genres and artists, from traditional folk to contemporary rock. Dylan has embraced the digital age in his own special way in recent years. His presence on social media platforms, especially X, formerly Twitter, has given fans glimpses into his thoughts and experiences on the road. These posts, which are known for their candor and wit, have won him over a new generation of fans. Dylan is known to enjoy moments of solitude, frequently retreating to his property in Malibu, California. Despite bridging the gap between the mysterious performer and his fans, Dylan's personal connections have had an equally significant impact on his life, spawning some of his most passionate connections and relationships at work. In the early 1960s, Bob Dylan was romantically involved with Sue Rotolo, an artist and political activist. Their relationship, which lasted from 1961 to 1964, had a profound impact on Dylan's songwriting, inspiring songs like Don't Think Twice, It's All Right and Boots of Spanish Leather. Dylan's life is characterized by a number of important relationships that have influenced both his art and his journey. Alongside Dylan, Rue is immortalized on the legendary cover of his album The Freewheel. And after working with Roto Dylan, Bob Dylan started dating folk singer Joan because of their romantic and business relationship. Bass was instrumental in bringing Dylan to a larger audience by asking him to perform live at her shows. Their partnership resulted in iconic duets and had a big influence on the folk movement of the 1960s. Dylan first married Sarah Lowndes in 1965, and the two of them had 4 kids together. Jacob and Jessie Anna Samuel, 1986, Dylan married Carolyn Dennis, a singer who had previously served as his backing vocalist. Together, they had a daughter, and Dylan also adopted Sarah's daughter Maria from her previous marriage, which lasted until 1977. Sarah is frequently mentioned as the inspiration for songs on Dylan's critically acclaimed album Blood on the Tracks. Gabrielle Desiree, Dennis Dylan and his spouse split in 1992, although their marriage remained mostly secret until years later. Beyond his romantic relationships, Dylan has kept up friendships with a number of musicians and artists. Most notably, he had a close relationship with Johnny Cash, with whom he worked on multiple occasions. Their mutual respect and admiration were clear in their recordings and performances together, and his relationships influenced his narrative. The houses he has selected showcase the various aspects of his personality and professional life. Bob. Dylan's homes give a window into several phases of his 1960s journey, reflecting the complexity of his life and career. During the height of his fame, Dylan lived in a 5-story townhouse at 242 East 49th Street in Manhattan's Turtle Bay district. Constructed in 1899, the home included 7 fireplaces and access to the exclusive Turtle Bay Gardens. It became his sanctuary. Dylan first rented the house from actress Ruth Gordon and playwright Garson Conan before buying it for $145 million in 1990 and selling it for $445 million in 2006. As of December 2024, the townhouse is once again for sale, this time for $725 million crossing the Atlantic. In December 2023, Dylan purchased Altmore House, a 16-bedroom Edwardian mansion in the Scottish Highlands, which is tucked away in Kay Gorms National Park and serves as a peaceful retreat. The estate is almost 24 acres in size and features a Victorian greenhouse, an orchard, and a croquet lawn. Dylan made $4.25 million, or roughly $535 million, when he sold the Altmore House. Domestically, Point Dume, Malibu, California, is thought to be Dylan's personal abode. This coastal property provides isolation and has served as his primary lodging while he is not on tour. The estate symbolizes Dylan's preference for privacy by giving him a break from the spotlight, and speaking of reflection, Dylan's selection of automobiles reveals another aspect of his personality, one of pragmatism and style, as well as an homage to his heritage. Bob Dylan's passion for automobiles reflects his varied and legendary career, as evidenced by his collection, which includes both vintage cars and motorcycles. First up is the 1964 Triumph Tiger 100. Dylan was frequently spotted with this vintage motorcycle, which is renowned for its performance and style. Next is the 1966 Ford Mustang convertible, an American sedan that was said to have been one of Dylan's favorites in the 1960s and embodied the fashion of the time. Then comes the 1953 Rolls-Royce Silver Dawn, which demonstrates Dylan's preference for modest yet iconic American vehicles. Finally, we cannot overlook the 2007 Mercedes-Benz E-Class, which is renowned for its iconic performance and design. Dylan's collection is notable for reflecting the fashion of the day. The Cadillac Escalade is another exquisite piece that perfectly complements Dylan's period-specific collection and is a symbol of luxury and American engineering. Lastly, the Volkswagen camper van is a well-liked model among collectors. Even with his illustrious past, Dylan is firmly entrenched in the present and continues to develop as an artist and cultural icon in his current lifestyle at the age of 83. His ownership of this car is tied to his American heritage and his musical background from the 1960s. Bob Dylan is still a powerful force in the music industry, skillfully fusing his legendary past with his current endeavors. In late 2024, he enthralled audiences throughout Europe with his Rough and Rowdy Ways tour, performing both his timeless classics and new songs. Most notably, at his October show in Paris, Dylan returned to the stage to play the guitar, a gesture that delighted fans and demonstrated his unwavering ties to his origins. Considering the future, Dylan has revealed his plans for his 2025 tour, which will include intimate performances in lesser-known cities. The tour will begin on March 25th in Tulsa, Oklahoma, home of the Bob Dylan Center, before traveling to places like Wichita, Kansas, and Mano, Minnesota. The biopic, A Complete Unknown, has received a lot of attention and chronicles Dylan's life-changing years from his arrival in New York City in 1961 to his electrifying performance at the Newport Folk Festival in 1965. Timothy Chalame's portrayal of Dylan has received widespread praise for encapsulating the young troubadour journey on a personal level. Dylan recently paid tribute to his late friend and bandmate G. Hudson on social media, calling him the true inspiration behind the group. This sincere acknowledgement highlights the close relationships and respect that these legendary musicians had for one another while juggling his relentless touring schedule with times for introspection. Dylan remains a shining example of artistic integrity and progress. His steadfast dedication to his art and capacity to connect with listeners of all ages confirm his lasting legacy in the annals of music history. What aspects of this in-depth exploration of Bob Dylan's biography surprised or struck you as particularly insightful? Post your ideas in the comment section below. We believe you'll appreciate one of these that's now on your screen if you liked this video. Remember to leave a like as well. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel for more.